Alright, it's that time again. Chapter 7, Season 4 has been out for a few days, and I think I've gathered all my thoughts about the season so far. Obviously, the season changes throughout the course of its runtime. I think now is a good time to talk about it. And this is definitely one of the most interesting seasons in a very long time. It takes a more back to basics approach, but it still has really interesting twists to it. So today, here's my thoughts on Season 4 Override. First, let's start off with the loot pool, as I think that's the most interesting thing about the season. The assault rifle is back. This works similar to the Morphite assault rifle instead of the assault rifle from Chapter 4, if you get what I mean. I think it's pretty good. It works best close to medium range. I think it's a good option. The Ranger AR is probably my favorite AR this season. It took me a while to learn how to use it, but once you know how to aim with it, it can delete people. I'm telling you, it does so much damage. The 8-bit shotgun is the tactical shotgun of this season, shoots faster than the pump. I find myself using this in zero build, and in build mode I think I stick to the pump more. It's a good shotgun. I mean, it's not weak, it's not useless, it definitely has a role in this season, and I think it performs that role very well. Speaking of which, the pump shotgun is back. I like this shotgun. Classic, everyone knows how to use a pump shotgun. I'm glad that they're finally bringing it back instead of just making some new version of it. The tac pistol, returning from Season 1 of this chapter, is alright. It doesn't dominate the loot pool like how the Ranger pistol did last season, but it's not useless. I think it's still really powerful, especially with the speed reload override effect. It can delete people, and we'll talk about override effects later. There are certain weapons you can hack into Battle Royale that aren't traditionally in the loot pool. There's the minigun, the Oni shotgun, which is really good this season, base boosts, which are a little nerfed, chug splashes are just alright, and dual pistols. They're obviously going to add more to this, and when they do, it'll be more useful, but for now, my main picks are the minigun, the Oni shotgun, and the base boosts. Everything else is just kind of there. Alright, the map. We got 3 new POIs with a bunch of smaller landmarks. Reality's Reign is based off a computer, a PC, basically running the loop, which is super creative for a gaming themed season. This is a very creative POI. Navigating it is a little interesting. It's kind of a little basic on the inside of some buildings, and has a weird layout, but overall I think it's alright. Green Hill Zone is a Sonic themed POI. It's interesting. You run on these pads and you can just run a loop-de-loop. You can collect some coins to gain overshield, even if you're in zero build or not. And that's pretty cool. It makes you more stronger, especially with the overshield override effects. It is really cool. Stone Sanctum is Bastion's own POI, resembling a temple with its walls and floors changing right in front of your eyes. Kind of annoying to loot. I hate trying to build in this because sometimes the builds won't work. If you're actually trying to loot this how it's intended, it is very hard to. I get that's the whole point, but it's really annoying. And we got new sprites. These little guys are still around for the season. They take a more gaming look. I mean that literally. You got the Sonic sprites, you got like the Jonesy sprite, the Bush sprite. They're all just interesting. I definitely think they took a step back when it comes to sprites, which I'm glad they did, because I do not want this season to just revolve around sprites again, like Runners did. They're still gonna have variants and they have abilities and whatever, but they definitely are not the main focus, which is good. Although some of them are pretty overpowered. If you have a Tails sprite, which allows you to fly in the air, And you have a minigun or the Mega Blaster, which is just the Bug Blaster from Chapter 6, Season 4. You can just destroy people. Like, look at this. It should not be allowed. Yeah, they definitely have some balancing issues this season. I mentioned at the start of the video that you can override. Now, what does that even really mean? Well, there are these cartridges, I think that's what they're called, that can spawn at these cartridge holders. I don't really know what these are called. And you can go to the console, choose whatever ability they have, and some affect the entire lobby, some affect you, some just affect your squad. It's very cool, although just a little overpowered. And once you select your ability, the cartridge falls down to the slot, and yeah. If you got an ability for yourself, you will be marked on the map. If your squad gets a ability just for your squad, they'll be marked on the map. And if everyone gets an ability, then no one's marked on the map. Some of the abilities include increased pickaxe damage, faster fire rate and reload time, gain 100 overshield, higher chance to find epic and legendary loot from chests, increased headshot damage, infinite stamina, you can respawn at the brink of death at one time, etc. Very cool. Originally I did thought that everyone gets these abilities, but then I realized they don't. There's certain ones. Speed Reloader is only affected to you if you get it, and if you have the tac pistol, like I mentioned before, you can just delete people. Like, it doesn't even matter if they're holding the wall. If you just hit your shots, it will just delete them. I do like these. They feel like Rift Anomalies, but more stronger and better. But there is definitely balancing issues that we should address. I just want to mention the Battle Pass this season. Now, originally, for other season reviews, I would let the Battle Pass kind of affect my overall rating of the season, and I think that it shouldn't. They're just skins in a battle pass. It's not really that impactful to an actual season, so I'm not gonna let a battle pass affect my overall rating of a season. But this battle pass is really good. Sonic at tier 1 is okay. Like, I know a lot of people have been wanting Sonic, so that's really cool for them, but I do not care for Sonic. I'm more interested in the fact that these characters all represent a different gaming genre. Kitty Wins is based off racing games like Mario Kart, for example. Phantom, which is my personal favorite from the past, is based off shooter games. Think of Call of Duty, you could think of Fortnite even. This is such a creative battle pass, and it really does feel like gaming. Like, these all feel like characters from different gaming. I think it's a nice detail, and I'm glad they didn't do just straight collabs. Now, don't get me wrong, they should not have put out those teasers showcasing different collabs just for them not to be in the Battle Pass. That was a really bad move on their part. I think they should have just showed us Battle Pass skins. And finally, for my overall thoughts of the season, it's good. I think it's really good. The loot pool feels alright. There are some balancing issues, like I mentioned before. Some of the overrides are really powerful if you know what you're doing. It can be fun for you, but it definitely can get annoying if you just keep running into the same unbalanced gameplay over and over again. Thankfully, overrides are pretty infrequent on what they give. Like, it's not guaranteed that you'll run into speed reload all the time, and you probably won't encounter someone using that all the time, but still, it is slightly just powerful. Overrides definitely affect the match, which is good. They should. They're the main focus of the season. They definitely should affect each match and not just be something you could just look over. The new locations are really cool and unique. I don't really like the temple POI though. Kind of makes me feel schizophrenic just a little bit. But yeah, they're not bad. I'm giving the season an 8 out of 10. It's a very strong and promising start, but there are some issues. I'm excited to see where the season takes us, and I hope they don't unvault some broken ARs or whatever. That would be pretty bad. Anyways, thank you for watching. Sorry this is a little late, because I know usually with these season reviews you should get these out as soon as the season comes out or whatever. But I like taking my time. I like seeing what's new. I like playing a few matches. I like taking a day, letting the hype wear off, and not skew my bias. But yeah, let me know what you think of this season, and I will see you later.